Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Monday, March 29, 2021. Al Jazeera report. Boeing asks U.S. court to throw out shareholders' 737 MAX lawsuit. Boeing Co. asked a court in Delaware in the United States to throw out a shareholders' lawsuit over the safety of its 737 MAX following fatal crashes, saying the board engaged in robust and well-established oversight of jets development. In an amended complaint unsealed in February, New York State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli, who heads the state pension fund, and other investors argued that Boeing's board breached its fiduciary duties and acted with gross negligence by failing to monitor the safety of Boeing's 737 MAX airplanes.
BBC report. Lebanon could sink like Titanic without new government. The whole country is in danger. The whole country is the Titanic. Speaker of Parliament Nabi Berri said. If the ship sinks, there'll be no one left. Lebanon has been without a government for more than 7 months. The previous administration resigned in the wake of the devastating explosion at Beirut's port. The disaster compounded an economic crisis that has left half the population living in poverty and prompted mass protests demanding the removal of a political elite they accuse of corruption, mismanagement and negligence.
Fox report. Suez Canal ship's crew celebrates on video after Ever Given is freed. A celebratory video shows the cheers and happiness of a salvage team that helped free a colossal container ship stuck for nearly a week in the Suez Canal. Mashor is no one, yelled the Egyptian crew members of the dredging ship Mashor, according to a tweet featuring the footage. Helped by the tides, a flotilla of tugboats wrenched the bulbous bow of the skyscraper-sized Ever Given from the canal's sandy bank, where it had been firmly lodged since March 23.
Fox report. NYC Chief Medical Officer calls for racial preference for minorities in medical care. 2 physicians, including the New York City Health Department's Chief Medical Officer, have proposed racial preferences for Black and Latinx patients, in order to address structural inequities. The proposal came as part of a Boston Review op-ed earlier this month in which doctors Michelle Morse and Bram Wispelwey, both of whom have worked at a teaching hospital for Harvard University, called for an anti-racist approach to medicine.
Fox report. California crazed man, accused of fatally stabbing elderly woman, dog in unprovoked attack to appear in court. A murder suspect described by authorities as a crazed man, accused of fatally stabbing a California woman and her dog in a seemingly unprovoked attack in broad daylight will appear in court on Monday. Ricardo Saldivar, 23, of Upland, California, will make his first court appearance this week after being medically treated for head injuries suffered after a Good Samaritan, in an attempt to stop the knife-wielding rampage, hit the suspect with a rock, knocking him unconscious.
BBC report. Mafia fugitive caught after posting cooking show on YouTube. Italian police tracked down Marc Ferran Claude Biart, 53, through the culinary videos he had uploaded to YouTube. While he carefully hid his face, he failed to disguise his body tattoos. The alleged member of the Ndrangheta crime gang was arrested in the Dominican Republic last Wednesday and has now been extradited back to Italy. Biart had reportedly been leading a quiet life in the town of Boca Chica, police said in a statement.
Al Jazeera report. Brazilians thrown back into poverty as COVID aid dries up. Tatiana Araujo de Cerqueira, a 33-year-old single mother of 6, and Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro are almost neighbors, but they inhabit different universes. Cerqueira lives by a landfill less than a mile from the Planalto presidential palace in Brasilia, along with 36 other families, and scrapes together cash by recycling trash. She is one of Brazil's 40 million or so invisibles, a term coined by Economy Minister Paulo Guedes for those without formal employment who have flown largely under the radar of Brazil's government and society.
Al Jazeera report. UN monitors backtrack on Yemen money laundering accusations. Independent UN sanctions monitors have withdrawn accusations against Yemen's government of money laundering and corruption that they said adversely affected access to food supplies in a country on the brink of famine, a document showed. The experts said in an annual report to the UN Security Council that Yemen's central bank broke its foreign exchange rules, manipulated the foreign exchange market, and laundered a substantial part of a $2 billion Saudi deposit in a sophisticated money laundering scheme.
CNN report. Rental car shortage is a boon for touro, the Airbnb of cars. Rental car companies have been slashing their fleets during the pandemic. But now that travel is picking up again, supply is tight and prices are sky high. That's a great opportunity for touro, a sort of Airbnb for car rentals, which has been growing rapidly as more car owners use its app to rent out their vehicles. Traditional car rental companies recorded massive drops in rental revenue thanks to the steep plunge in travel last year.
Fox report. Mexico revises coronavirus death toll up by 60%, suffering second most deaths globally. New data from Mexico indicates that the death toll from the coronavirus is far higher than previously thought. A report published by Mexico's health ministry showed that by mid-February there had been just over 294,000 deaths associated with COVID-19, a nearly 60% increase from the originally published figure. That figure has since risen by almost 27,000 more deaths through March, bringing the total to more than 321,000.
CNN report. U.S. suspends all diplomatic trade engagement with Myanmar after weekend of violence against pro-democracy protesters. The Biden administration announced the suspension of all diplomatic trade engagement with Myanmar on Monday following a weekend of violence against pro-democracy protesters in the deadliest day since military seized power in a February 1 coup. The suspension of government-to-government engagement under the 2013 Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, TIFA, will remain in effect until the return of a democratically elected government. A statement from the Office of United States Trade Representative Catherine Tai said.
CNN report. London records zero COVID-19 daily deaths for first time in 6 months as cases soar elsewhere in Europe. London has recorded zero daily deaths from COVID-19 in a single day for the first time in over 6 months. Official data indicates. Public Health England, FE, statistics from Sunday showed no fatalities within 28 days of a positive COVID-19 test in the UK capital, while the country as a whole recorded 19 deaths. The last daily record of 0 deaths in the capital was on September 14 before a second wave of the coronavirus pandemic struck Britain.
CNN report. A little-known hedge fund caused widespread chaos on Wall Street. The names of the key players are different, but the lessons similar. The spectacular implosion of hedge fund Archegos Capital Management, much like the GameStop saga earlier this year, serves as a reminder of the dangers posed by extreme leverage, secret derivatives and rock-bottom interest rates. Viacom CBS, VIACA, Discovery, Disca, and other media titan stocks crashed Friday as Wall Street banks that lent to Archegos forced the firm to unwind its bets.
Deutsche Welle report. Hong Kong. Oscars won't be aired for first time since 1969. Hollywood's top award ceremony had been broadcast in Hong Kong for over 60 years by free-to-air TVB on its English-language channel. But this year, no channel will carry the show. As Beijing cracks down further on artistic expression, doubts remain over whether the Oscars will air in mainland China either. Chinese state broadcaster CCTV, which has previously shown the awards, has yet to confirm if it will carry this year's event.
Deutsche Welle report. EU tells Turkey to take back migrants from Greece. EU officials told the Turkish government on Monday that it must, urgently, resume accepting migrants from Greece, where thousands are being held in camps. The bloc struck a deal with Ankara in 2016 that it would take back asylum seekers from Greek islands who had their applications rejected. But tensions have flared between EU members Greece and Cyprus over a decades-old maritime dispute with Turkey.
BBC report. Uighur Xinjiang cotton ban is self-defeating. China tells H&M and other Western brands are facing a backlash in China after they expressed concern about the alleged use of forced labor in cotton production. China has been accused of forcing members of the mostly Muslim Uyghur minority to pick cotton in Xinjiang. China denies this, and in recent days critical brands have faced boycotts. "I don't think a company should politicize its economic behavior," said Xu Guixiang, a Xinjiang government spokesman at a news conference on Monday.
Deutsche Welle report. Myanmar. Thousands take to streets as others flee. Thousands took to the streets in Myanmar on Monday, as Myanmar security forces continued to shoot at protesters. Following the deadliest day since the February 1 military coup, security forces killed multiple people in the main city of Yangon on Monday, witnesses and media reported, as activists called on ethnic minority forces in the nation to back their campaign against military rule. Saturday, which also coincided with Myanmar's Armed Forces Day, saw members of the military kill over 100 protesters, spurring widespread international condemnation.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.